17 Euro World car. To know that Alec Udell's driven both of those cars this season, so it's kind of weird you come up to the car that you've driven, kind of a different variety and scenery there, so to speak, out that windshield of that Euro World Motorsports Porsche.
As they head down in, and again, boy, Alec is driving that thing hard right now, and you can see Preston doing a big, long arc through that corner. I think he got in just a little bit deep, and for that number 17 entry, that Hybrid Kinetic Group, it's a company that's special.
Nordschleife of the very first time. How long will it be before we get inside of traffic? I think by about lap 2 usually, isn't it? And then forevermore we are going to be pressured into making those moves past the slower classes.
Looks as though it's actually the 5th position Lamborghini of Marco Mappelli that is just a little bit slower than Sven Muller in the Falken Motorsports Porsche ahead. So the gap between those...
BMW, he couldn't quite outbrake Kevin Estre enough to take the race lead, but Maro Engel right around the outside, a very brave overtake to force his 6.2 litre V8 Mercedes into 2nd position, and the Lamborghini and BMW would be left in the background to squabble over 3rd and 4th positions. And this,
you just cannot see these cars around you, Greg. So if you've got someone down the inside, look at the Bentley there trying to thread the needle towards the back of this little pack coming into turn 1. Winkelhock there down to the inside.
Boy, and Tom Jack doing a nice job threading the needle, and look at around the outside, Jordan Pepper trying to make the move on Winkelhock as they come up now in that number 2 Porsche of Andrew Davis.
Let's see if Bentley have found the secret sauce in these wet conditions.
This is nothing. You do not want that to be what you're counting on to get you this overall win, not just for themselves, but also for Porsche. Again, at the end of the day, the good news for Wright Motorsports is they'd still win in class. It would still be enough to win the championship as well for their full season drivers, but possibility of winning overall.
I thought that the front wheels were not in full alignment there, so
Agreed.
I'm not sure with that little hit. Just if you got the car turning left, suddenly that wheel is outside of the fender. You take a bump like that, can easily break a tie rod, a track arm through that situation.
Fun little battle here. This is for the final step of the podium in North America Pro. Bill Oberlin has it. Trent Hinman is trying to take it away. Bill, the
you need a plan B. Well, here is the plan B, perhaps, for Christopher Haase, because now he's using the toe and a little bit of side draft on the Bilstein Mercedes of Maro Engel. Wheel arches almost touching there, and we're venturing towards 270 kilometers per hour, and Antonius Bucher, the left-hand kink under the bridge.
Did you see the side draft come into play there, Johnny, for the Mercedes? They're using each other's side draft to stay with one another, absolutely side by...
The 3 leading cars.
Oh, Lowndes.
He's got an issue.
Tyre.
Oh, no.
Left rear.
Well, if it's going to happen, and Gilles Gounon will tell you this from when he won the race in 2020, do it just before you get to pit lane.
He's put, like, the pit lane's right there. Where's he going? Where are you going, Craig Lowndes?
He's stopping. He's got more problems than just a tyre.
Yeah, so there's been a significant failure, but...
bodywork only at the moment. It was all because that Audi of Cheng Fu just suddenly stopped coming out of turn 2, and the Porsches had to split either way. It was actually Piccarello who had made the best start. He got the move done round 2 on Vantor, was up to 3rd, and then they split that Audi. The Audi, I was walking through pit lane, they were head deep in the engine bay, looking at something. I hope it's not a misfire or something like that. The Goshigan, Nissan...
Clean renewable energy, battery technology, nanotech and the like, but the biggest thing is hybrid systems and electric car batteries, and they are starting to use motorsports as a proving ground and a showcase, and lots of big news maybe for the future of that HKG group, along with Euro World Motorsports for that Global Motorsports group run.
It's a little bit less frenetic than it looks from where we sit, as this, what looks like a Cup class, a Cup 2 class, a 992 class I should say, is what this class looks like. And I think, as ever, the sort of racing that we cover all over Europe and the world indeed, the 992 class for me is what...
Corner in the 82 Bimmerwald red and white machine at the back of the pack. Tomczyk looking to the inside of Hinman there.
Oh, and the number 6 of Trevor Beck has gone around the Vital Speed Ferrari. Going to get it turned, and the rain really starting to pick up here, Cal.
Not sure if that right rear was had full pressure. Looked to be a little bit low on the right corner, so maybe he took a tap somewhere. Farfus in the lead. Dane Cameron pressuring him.
that put the 163 now with a chance to perhaps be on the podium. They're quite a ways back, so I don't think so. Practically a lap behind. Outside regulator still with a really good chance to be on the podium by the end of this. Hinman continuing to stalk Alexander Sims. This is for third in class.
Sims has certainly played his part.
Patrick Liddy, American driver, making his championship debut. And just behind, Bastian Boost, the young Dane, in this Porsche. This is a battle for class position, 6th and 7th in Pro-Am.
Good scrap between these two at the moment. Boost closing in, has a dive up in turn 13 to the inside there, Calvin.
Yeah, I think Liddy saw him and wisely didn't just give it to him. It just made enough room so they could coexist, then get on with the programs.
Will not be shadowing. He's caught him.
He's going to go for this, surely.
There was 7 seconds in between first and second. It's now nothing. It's now bumper-to-bumper driving now. And Augusto Farfus, I'm not sure he has that page of let's just sit behind has been ripped out of his textbook years ago. Probably back in his karting days.
This is the Grand Prix track, the best place to try and prize an opening.
Oh, there are a couple side by side there. So Ricky Fella was second going into turn 1. He's 5th now in the 183 Audi and had a massive fistful of understeer, turning the car in at the elbow for the first time. The big winner in all of that stuff going on in the opening lap was Augusto Farfus in the number 32 Team WRT BMW. So he's up 3 spots.
In his qualifying session yesterday, tries to build that gap as you see 77 coming through the chicane. That is Maxi Goetz then, and he's chasing after 91 Porsche there. One car but one up the road, Ralph Bowen at the wheel. With respect to Ralph,
one, it becomes abrasive and is hard on tires, but two, Jeff, that means that corner could be completely different in terms of grip than the last time you ran through it. That's what makes this place such a handful.
Yeah, every time you come through, you're checking track conditions, you're looking for braking zones, you're looking for the cars behind, next to you, behind you, in front of you, but you're making sure you pay attention to what's going on with that track.
Once again, the charge up the hill. We always talk, obviously, about the corkscrew, but it's this turn, turn 6, that really got the attention of drivers that have never been here before.
133 have started, so we know about the 16. That was confirmed by the team, but a couple of other cars unable to take the start.
Across the line in 10th place in the 98. That's the only BMW in the SP9 class that's holding the flag for the BMW Mark, the Rover racing car Farfus. We were in car with him for a short while there through the Tiergarten, weren't we? It'll be interesting to see.
The opening hour would pan out between Augusto Farfus and Kevin Estre, and virtually with every corner, Bruce Jones, of the Grand Prix lap, we didn't quite know who's going to be leading around the next corner.
Yeah, classic one-lap sprint. Is going to be extremely cautious and conservative in every way, shape, and form, at least for the first couple hours of this race. And the 04 car, I think, sort of following form, they want to make sure they're in it in case anything happens. Let's see.
It would be a miss, I would think, for them to have 8 straight race wins and then completely miss the podium at Indianapolis. So, I mean, that would be a disaster, is probably an exaggeration, but they really thought, I think, coming into the weekend that maybe they had a shot. The pace early in the week wasn't great. In the middle of the race, though, they looked very, very good, and now things are kind of slipping away here.
Yeah, they knew it was going to be a tough day, I think.
Change for the overall lead here. Yeah. Niederhauser lost the spot to Sheldon Vanderlinde. Possibly traffic had a part to play. Looked like they caught, I believe that would be Custodio Toledo. Yes.
Not sure he's ever had 2 teammates who are old enough to be his dad.
Here we go again. This is for the overall lead. Washington, the lapped car, in the middle.
Much more information. This was the 54 Porsche up the inside of the Cup car and then into the tyres for the 919. Oh, and it's torn the wheel off the car as well. So 919, where was that in the order? 7th for Joe Dexnis. Now, if anything, I would have said that the 54 car in that instance was further alongside.
And Augusto Farfus leads the race down. It's Valentino Rossi behind the wheel of car 46 in second place. It's still wild to say that. Maxime Martin behind the wheel, former BMW driver, chasing the car he drove last year and wide. Ian James, was it? In the heart of racing car it was, and you cannot pass until you get to the control.
The stints to come. There, number 9, the Callaway Corvette, that's dropped back into 18th place. Shinji Takei at the wheel of it. He's trying to put a lap on the Volglass Porsche, and also number 18, the car that went off the road and caused a red flag in Q3. Shinohara at the wheel of that orange Dayglow Porsche that goes through and gets ahead of Kim. So those two busy squabbling. It's not for position, they're on different laps, but good battle going on.
Vermees continues to draw away here at the California 8 Hours at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. This beautiful green and black monoplast by Land Motorsports, Team Land Audi. They just have been hooked up. His margin up to over 5 seconds at this stage as he drives.
A lot quicker lap times from those cars and a lot more race performance from the Mercedes. Engel knew that his mission was to get onto the tail of that Grello Porsche of Preining, and he has done that. Mission statement completed. The rest of the field through the Vidal chicane, and for the first time we're about to through the Schumacher S.
And Hinman had tried to go around the outside of the 35 of Tomczyk, couldn't get that done and slotted back into 4th.
Big move from Pepper. He's up to 5th in the Bentley.
Well, he needed to get that done before this track gets really wet. Again, we're not convinced that this track is going to really suit that car in the damp.